What is going on, guys? It's Scott from Oak Societies, and I'm here to bring you a bombshell, yet another bombshell of an episode, and I cannot wait to get into all this. Lots of news breaking about Epstein. If you guys haven't already heard, there was a huge document dump, and it's got a lot of revealing information in it. It drops some names, some peculiar names, some names you guys will certainly know, and we're gonna get right into it. We're going to do a story or two that I found interesting before that, and then we're going to get into the Epstein stuff. So stay with me, guys. It's going to be a good one, I promise. So I posted on my Twitter and Facebook about this movie that's been coming out. It's going to be out, looks like, I think in September sometime, but Trump just recently tweeted about this, which was interesting, obviously calling it garbage, but this infuriated me so much because of with the current situation going on in the country, with shootings going on right now. I was just shocked that something like this would even come out. But again, why should I be shocked? Because nothing really surprises me anymore nowadays. So there was a movie coming out by Universal Studios. It was advertised. I actually saw the advertisement on ESPN, and I couldn't believe it. Then I went online to research more, and this is what I found. The headline of this article says, "Movie showing elites hunting down deplorables slated to hit theaters in September." And the article reads, "A movie featuring elite liberals stalking deplorables is slated to be released in September," reported The Hollywood Reporter, but has lost an advertisement on ESPN in the wake of two mass shootings on August 3rd and August 4th. The movie, The Hunt, from Universal Pictures, shows people hunting down deplorables, a term failed presidential contender Hillary Clinton used to describe supporters of Trump during the 2016 campaign. Did anyone see what our expletive in chief just did? One character asked others early in the movie. According to a screening seen by The Hollywood Reporter, at least the hunt's coming up. Nothing better than going out to the manor and slaughtering a dozen deplorables. That's a quote right from the movie, guys. This is sick shit. According to the Reporter, the movie's script features blue state characters choosing to hunt red state characters who express pro-life positions or were deemed racist. One executive who passed on the script told the outlet that he didn't even read it, adding, "The idea seemed crazy. Someone with some fucking common sense." Employees in different departments were questioning the wisdom of making such a movie in these times, added a filmmaker with ties to Universal. "In light of the horrific recent shootings, is this not the most craven, irresponsible, dangerous exploitation?" Which it is. Executives have tried billing the film as satire, though it's unclear what's satirical about it. The search for interviews from anyone involved with the film didn't turn up anything. An inside source told the Reporter that the Universal is trying to decide what to do in the wake of the mass shootings. Some executives want to support Blum, one of Universal's top producers, and Zobel, and view the project as satire, but plans could change if people think we're being exploitative rather than opinionated, the source added. Guys, I don't know what's satirical about any of that. It's literally a movie about elites hunting down deplorables, which we all know what that means as Trump supporters, and they also go into more detail later on that they're going after conspiracy theorists as well, which so conveniently the media calls QAnon followers and Q, right? The timing of this is just so coincidental, right? And of course, this is depicted as some kind of sick game. ESPN pulled an advertisement for the movie over the weekend, while AMC aired an ad Sunday night, and they just go into more about what the movie is, the plot and all that other stuff. And guys, it made me sick just watching this, because if this had been the other way around, and Republicans hunting liberals, the media would just destroy Trump, anybody that would, not that Trump would ever endorse anything like this, which he's not. He's active on Twitter right now actually saying this is ludicrous and that the libs and Dems are promoting violence, but imagine if it was the other way around. The media would have a field day with this. But this is Hollywood, guys. Hollywood is full of liberals and these pedos. And this is the shit that they're coming out with. They're literally coming out with movies of people hunting down a certain people with political affiliation. What times are we living in right now? It's absolutely crazy. So that's out there. I don't know if you guys saw the commercial for it. It looked terrible from the get-go. And the sick thing is too, when I heard about Hollywood, I have seen stories and read stories about, especially the things on Jeffrey Epstein's island, where there was certain sacrificial practices that were done where children were released into the woods and they were actually hunted. And this kind of reminded me of that a little bit, and it just rubbed me the wrong way, guys. It made me sick to my stomach looking at this. And this is actually a movie that's coming out in certain states. I don't know if it's going to be countrywide, worldwide, I have no idea. I'll keep an eye out on it, but the whole premise is just sickening to me. So, wanted to start out with that, because it's absolutely unreal. It's absolutely unreal. So, obviously with the wake of the news, with all the shooters last weekend, that has been dominating because, again, as I've said in my last two videos, the media is trying to change the narrative and to bury Epstein, any other D-class information coming out. And while all this is going on, guys, we're going to see it's not working. The media is not going to be able to deflect and change and move people's eyes away from what's really going on. And while all this is going on, don't forget that Barr, Hershowitz, they're all doing these investigations behind closed doors still. And they're still investigating Hillary. And this is where this article comes in. Trump order also grants Barr power to declassify still secret Hillary docs. For the past 3 years, Washington's gatekeepers have covered up evidence of two potentially massive and overlapping public corruption scandals that have fully exposed threaten to shake the nation to its core. One involves the Obama administration spying on the Trump campaign while sexing up Russian interference in the 2016 election to justify it. We all know about that. We all know the Russian hoax is a hoax. That one we're all still waiting for. President Donald Trump has granted his plucky new Attorney General the power to rip to cover up both these election year scandals. And the other one involves pulling punches in the Hillary Clinton email investigation and clearing her of a criminal wrongdoing just in time for the Democratic National Convention. Trump's recent declassification order not only helps Barr dig into the earliest days of the Trump-Russia investigation to see the full extent of surveillance measures ordered by Obama officials, it also puts him in a position to declassify still secret documents generated during the highly irregular Clinton probe, which absolved her of mishandling state secrets transmitted through her unauthorized basement email server before agents could even interview her. We all know about this, guys. We all know she bleached and acid watched all her emails, and they're still saying Trump is the bad guy. He's obstructing and all that, but Hillary can get away with whatever the fuck she wants. White House lawyers wrote the May 23rd order in a way that delegates sweeping authority to Barr to declassify your unredacted documents covering both 2016 presidential investigations. This is key because the same former Justice Department and FBI officials who led the Russia collusion investigation also headed the Clinton inquiry. Under the order, these and other agencies will finally have to cough up classified documents that they withheld from congressional Republicans investigating whether the former administration misused its spying powers to monitor Trump and his aides. So pretty much, guys, this just goes into a lot of what Barr is pretty much able to, his power as far as reach, what he can investigate, what he can declass, and pretty much he can declassify anything he absolutely wants. And the thought I had when I saw this is this: what if Hillary had some access to special access programs, and she sold secrets to other foreign countries? Because it did say that the documents will shake the nation to its core. So how deep, how sick, how big is the rabbit hole is this? What has Hillary done? We already know that she's been to Epstein Island, and the sick things that we see in the dark web. We've seen it on the 8chan, we've seen it on a bunch of things, and it's not good, guys. It's really evil shit. So this is all good news. This is where I'm trying to spin it. It's all good news, guys. I know the shootings put everyone in depressed mood. 8chan was deplatformed, so Q has not been able to post, so people are all upset about that. But there is no worries, guys. This is all part of the plan. It's all part of the plan. Q is always 10 steps ahead. And these things are still being investigated, they're still being looked at, and we're still waiting for the documents to drop. So just stay calm, everybody. Everything's going to be all right. We will carry on. This is what we do. And let's continue. So this article came out, I don't even know when. just 2 days ago. Retail billionaire behind Victoria's Secret says Jeffrey Epstein misappropriated vast sums of money from him. And here's Leslie Wexner in letter to Foundation said the amount was at least $46 million. The billionaire behind Victoria's Secret says foreign money manager Jeffrey Epstein misappropriated more than $46 million, revealing for the first time some of the financial fallout from his relationship with the disgraced financier. In a letter Wednesday, the founder and chief executive of L Brands Incorporated wrote to members of his Wexner Foundation that the missing funds were uncovered after Mr. Wexner decided to, in 2007 to sever ties with Mr. Epstein. Mr. Wexner began the separation process after allegations against Mr. Epstein surfaced involving sexual abuse of an underage girls. And guys, we all know Q has called out Wexner. They are deeply connected. Wexner pretty much gave Epstein his beautiful Manhattan, skyline apartment, which is worth millions of dollars. And we all know that Epstein was able to get girls from Russia, Sweden, United States. And what better way than to link up with the billionaire behind Victoria's Secret, who has young girls, young beautiful girls, and they can funnel them to Epstein. It makes perfect logical sense. So again, I just wanted to show this, guys, because people like him and other elites coming out are trying to distance themselves from him, especially now that he is in a Manhattan prison. And again, he's waiting sentence in June, which is so long. We hope he survives that long, but we'll see. But everyone is trying to get away from this guy, and they're all pretending like Epstein, they did them wrong. So fuck him. We're not part of anything else. We didn't know what he was doing back in 2008, early 2000s, with this pedo island and all that stuff. But it's just another example of the elite, especially this guy, Wexner, trying to get away from him. And speaking of that case, because we're talking about 2007, the things with Epstein are getting heated up. And right after this, guys, we're going to get into the documents that were dumped. That is what we're going to be mainly focusing on today. But I came across this because I'm going to do the headline. Lead U.S. prosecutor in Epstein's 2000 case unexpectedly resigns. It's very suspicious. So in my last video, guys, I talked about how the sheriff's department in Palm Beach County is actually being reinvestigated to how they handled Epstein when he was originally arrested in 2008 when he took that lesser charge of soliciting an underage prostitute. And I described before that he was able to go in and out of the jail. He had 12 hours of release, and they left his door open at night. The dude pretty much not serving anything. He got to do whatever the hell he wanted. So when I came across this, thought it was very interesting. Something big is about to hit in the Jeffrey Epstein drama, which in recent days has quietly slipped to the last page in the local media. Moments ago, the Miami Herald, whose reporting in 2018 reincarnated the Epstein Pedogate scandal, reported that Marie Villavana, the lead federal prosecutor, helped negotiate the controversial plea deal for accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, has submitted her resignation to the Justice Department. Villavana's lawyer, Jonathan Byron, confirms her resignation to the Miami Herald, saying that she has long planned to transition to a legal career in healthcare and now plans to join the Federal Department of Health and Human Services, because allegedly she handled a number of healthcare fraud cases in South Florida in recent years. Her shocking departure comes amid a sprawling federal probe into the role she and other federal prosecutors, including her former boss, Alexandra Acosta, had in sidelining the 53-page indictment against the wealthy New York schmoozer and convicted pedophile in favor of a state plea to minor prostitution charges in 2008. The DOJ's Office of Professional Responsibility is probing whether Acosta, who resigned his cabinet post as Trump's Secretary of Labor last month, and other U.S. prosecutors involved in the 2007-2008 case committed misconduct in negotiating the secret pact with Epstein. A federal judge in February ruled that the prior deal was illegally negotiated because Epstein and federal prosecutors concealed it from his victims in violation of the Crime Victims' Rights Act. And here we go, talking about the sheriffs, which I just mentioned. Palm Beach Sheriff Rick Bradshaw's role in the case is also under scrutiny, the Herald reports, since under his watch, he permitted Epstein liberal work release privileges that allowed the multimillionaire to be chauffeured by his valet from the jail to his office in West Palm Beach 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. real hard sentence there, guys, right? Even when Epstein was in his cell at night, sheriff's deputies reportedly allowed him to keep his door open. Guys, the writing's on the wall. What the fuck were these guys in doing? Why were they helping Epstein? Were they getting paid? So now they're getting investigated. While there's no specific reason to doubt the motive behind her resignation, a much more likely reason behind Villa Ivana's abrupt departure is that several people involved in the Epstein case have been questioned by the Justice Department in recent weeks as part of its ongoing OPR investigation, and something unexpected popped up. And the rest of the article goes into just talking about how the last 2 years she's been really getting into healthcare, and she wants or healthcare fraud, and that's where her career is now taking her. And honestly, I think, guys, probably since Trump got into office, she's not a dumb woman. She's obviously very smart. She probably saw the writing on the wall that a lot of things were going to just pop up, as the article says, about Epstein. You know, who knows what kind of inside people that she knows, hearing things, and she needed to book it out of town. So that's something to watch out for, and I thought it was very suspicious. So again, guys, another example. Anyone tied to this dude is trying to scurry away like the rats that they are, and it's very, very obvious. So that came out, guys. That came out yesterday, and then today the bombshell hit. And this is where it started. Court orders sunlight on huge tranche of Jeffrey Epstein files. More than a decade after his child sex abuse case shocked the nation, the extraordinary light sentence given to politically connected Jeffrey Epstein continues to embarrass multiple presidents, a prince, and a powerful lawyer. On Wednesday, the Second Circuit Court ordered sunlight for nearly 2,000 pages of files related to the wealthy tycoon and the dozens of girls whose assault claims he buried with an expansive plea deal. The fight was one spurred on by Miami Herald reporter Julie Brown on the heels of her groundbreaking investigative series, Perversion of Justice, which renewed national attention to the Epstein case by highlighting his ties to the nation's elite. So this is what I saw first, guys, and then I went on Twitter, and the next thing I know, I found the links to the documents. And I've read through all the documents. The one's 55 pages, the other one's about 74. They're not all 2,000 yet. They're going to be slowly leaked out. But I found this awesome thread with some highlights of the transcripts, and I'm going to actually link the transcripts so you guys can go on there, look at them yourself, and read them. Just to warn you, some of it is pretty disturbing, which is what you would expect in something like this. So we're going to jump right into this, guys. So the first documents, the first 55 pages, is about this woman. Well, at the time a young girl, but during her case here, she's now older. Her name is Virginia Roberts, and she goes into detail about some of the things that she had to do for Epstein, her interactions with Trump and Bill Clinton, and some other names that you guys are going to notice, especially Prince Andrew and Al Gore. And this is a picture of her here and another picture of here at the time. And we're going to get into this article after we look into these. So the thread starts from the recently unsealed Virginia Roberts deposition. She details her experience with Bill Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein, and Ghislaine Maxwell. Did Bill have the Secret Service with him? They were there, but not where we were eating. So here you go, guys. This is part of the transcript. All right. So just to give you guys some background, Sharon Churcher, when you see this name, this is a reporter that, what's her face? Virginia was talking to. She was giving, this is when Virginia was coming out at the time to start telling people about what was going on, what was Epstein doing, who she was seeing. So when you see that name, that's all this is referring to. So Sharon Churcher isn't anyone bad, she's just a reporter. Okay, and this is the lawyer talking. Did you say that statement to Sharon Churcher? I said to Sharon that Ghislaine told me that she flew Bill in the heli, the black helicopter that Jeffrey brought her, and I just wanted to clarify that I didn't actually see her do that. I heard from Ghislaine that she did that. You heard that from Ghislaine, and then you reported to Sharon Churcher that you had heard that from Ghislaine. Answer's correct. I heard a lot of things from Ghislaine that sounded too true, too outrageous to be true, but you never know what to believe. Okay? And after Sharon Churcher printed what she said, you said, did you complain to her that it was inaccurate? I might have verbally with her, but again, I didn't see a point in making a hissy over it because what was done, she had done already printed. So they're just discussing the validity of Sharon Churcher's article and the things that she can remember as being true or not true. And here's another transcript. Secret Service, let's see. Oh, here we go. What was inaccurate about I used to get frightened flying with her, but Bill said. Had the Secret Service with him, and I remember him talking about what a good job she did. I just remember saying that to her. I don't remember saying I remember him talking about what a good job she did. All right. I just don't remember that at all. Okay. And I guess just to be clear, my question wasn't, do you remember saying this to Sharon Church? My question is the statement accurate? Did you used to get frightened flying with her? Yes. And they're talking about Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay. Did Bill have the Secret Service with him? They were there, but not like not where we were eating. And guys, I mentioned multiple times that Bill Clinton has been on that log 26 times, and there were reports multiple times that he had Secret Service with him sometimes, and sometimes he had no security detail at all. So here's an example. Here's a solid testimony of that. And we continue. Virginia Roberts also says, to the best of her knowledge, Donald Trump did not have sex with Jeffrey Epstein's girls, said that she never saw him at Epstein's New York City mansion, New Mexico ranch, or pedophile island. And let's see. So at this point, the lawyer had asked her to check mark any inaccurate parts of the article that Sharon Churcher had written. She was trying to get her to remember exactly what was true and what was false about this article. And the question is, all right, what's inaccurate about the last statement on that page? And it was, Donald Trump was also a good friend of Jeffrey's. That part is true. He didn't and this is quoting from the article, he didn't partake in any sex with any of us, but he flirted with me. It's true that he didn't partake in any sex with us, but it's not true that he flirted with me. Donald Trump never flirted with me. And the next sentence is, he laughed and told Jeffrey, you've got the life. And again, this is quoting from the article that Sharon Churcher had written. And here, Virginia is saying, I never said that to her. When you say he didn't partake in any sex with any of us, who is us? Girls. Just, how do you know who Donald Trump had sex with? Oh, I didn't physically see him have sex with any of the girls, so I can't say who had sex with him within his whole life or not, but I just know it wasn't with me when I was with other girls. And who were the other girls that you were with in Donald Trump's presence? None. There, I worked for Donald Trump, and I've met him probably a few times. When have you met him? At Mar-a-Lago. My dad and him. I wouldn't say they were friends, but my dad knew him, and they would talk all the time. Well, not all the time, but when they saw each other. Have you ever been in Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein's presence with one another? No. What is the basis for your statement that Donald Trump is a good friend of Jeffrey's? Jeffrey told me that Donald Trump is a good friend of his, but you never observed them together. No, not that I can actually remember. I mean, not off the top of my head, no. So guys, you know the big media narrative now. Every time you would type in Bill Clinton Epstein, what's the first picture you see in your Google images? One comes up of Trump with his, with Epstein. It's that media narrative that they're trying to put out there. It's all bullshit. And here's an actual account, a testimony of that. So the thread continues. Did the FBI tell you that Epstein had hidden cameras watching you the entire time, even when you were in the bathroom? Yes. Did the FBI tell you everything he did was illegal because I was underage? Yes. And here is just a picture of that transcript blown up here. So Epstein was very well aware of what was going on. There was no doubt about that. Virginia Roberts was asked to put a mark next to an accurate statement, so those without marks are assumed to be true to the best of her recollection. True statement. Jeffrey Epstein did invite 2 young brunettes to a dinner with Bill Clinton on Pedophile Island. So guys, these are the check marks. The check marks are for the not true things. Everything that is not checked is true. So here we are. Let me put myself right up there. Epstein did invite 2 young brunettes to a dinner, which he gave on his Caribbean island for Mr. Clinton shortly after he left office. And what did Bill say? He's never been to the island? Uh-huh. I've been about 17 at the time. I flew to the Caribbean with Jeffrey, and then Ghislaine Maxwell went to pick up Bill in a huge black helicopter that Jeffrey had bought her. She checked that. She does not recall. I remember she was very excited because she got her license around the first year we met, and I used to get frightened flying around. We went over that. I don't remember seeing Bill again on the trip, but I assume Ghislaine flew him back. Sick stuff, guys. And this stuff is all out here now. This just dropped today. And here we go, guys. Some more names you're going to know. True statement. Virginia Roberts disclosed that Bill Clinton's Vice President Al Gore and his wife Tipper were also guests of Jeffrey Epstein on Pedophile Island, and former Democrat Senator from Maine, George Mitchell, was a frequent guest at Epstein's New York City mansion. And right here, Virginia said that yet another American liberal icon, Senator George Mitchell, frequently visited the mansion. Mr. Mitchell, age 77, was very close to Jeffrey. 77, guys. Disgusting. Virginia Roberts also met Naomi Campbell at a birthday party of hers on a yacht in the south of France. She is a friend of Ghislaine Maxwell's, but she was a real bitch to me. And these are all true statements, guys. Virginia Roberts on her experience with Prince Andrew. And this is a quote. He was caressing every part of my naked body and filling my head with endless compliments about my blossoming figure. And you can see right here, pretty disgusting. He paid careful attention to my toes and was licking them. And she's a child here, guys. And here's just a picture. I think it's in here. Yep. There's Prince Andrew. There she is. And good old Ghislaine Maxwell in the back there. Terrible, sick shit, guys. Terrible, sick shit. Ghislaine Maxwell never offered a legal explanation for why Prince Andrew was photographed with his hand around Miss Gorfrey's bare waist while she was a minor, while posing with defendant inside defendant's house in London. And among other nude photos, which included full nudes of defendant, Miss Gorfrey produced images of females that the Palm Beach police confiscated during the execution of the warrant, including one photograph revealing the bare bottom of a girl who appears to be prepubescent. And that picture is in there, guys. It's obviously redacted, the nudity part, for good reason. Nobody wants to look at that, besides these sickos, obviously, but it's all in those. And these are all out now, guys. This is all for public consumption. And it continues, Miami Herald, to corroborate claims, Virginia Roberts provided evidence that included a medical record from Presbyterian Hospital in New York, where she was taken by Epstein after a particularly abusive sex episode. And also, Virginia Roberts says Jeffrey Epstein held a dinner for Bill Clinton on Pedophile Island, but that, to her knowledge, neither Trump nor Clinton had any intimate contact with us, referring to the girls Epstein kept as sex slaves. Real sick stuff, guys. So this is what I'm going to just relay to you guys. I've read all the documents. It is time consuming, but everything is there. Everything is detailed, and a lot of it's disturbing. This is not conspiracy theories no more, as the media would love to have said years ago, especially when Q was around calling this out 2 years ago. It's all out here now, guys. And this is just, 100 and something pages of it? There's still 2,000 of it to go. Crazy. So just to tie it up, guys, this is just an article that just came out, I believe this just came out a couple hours ago. Yeah, 2:01. It's from the Miami Herald. Again, this is where the story really started blowing up. They've done excellent work for what it seems like a mainstream outlet. They've actually done some really good work here. And again, it talks about Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and how they were able to get these girls to come into their, sick ring. A chilling picture of how hundreds of girls and young women from around the world were trafficked for sex by Jeffrey Epstein, his alleged madame, Ghislaine Maxwell, and a number of other powerful businesses and world leaders emerged Friday in court documents unsealed in New York. The documents, a portion of thousands of pages in 2015 federal defamation case, offer brutal details about Epstein's trafficking of teenage girls from across the US, Russia, and Sweden, and Maxwell's compulsive and often abusive quest to provide him with new girls over a span of years in the early to mid 2000s. Now that's Virginia Roberts. That's the one we were just referring to a lot. Sorry guys, just gotta get some water. Throat's killing me. Virginia Roberts says she was 16 and working as a locker room attendant at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort when she was approached by Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's associate, about becoming a masseuse for Epstein. Virginia Roberts, who brought the lawsuit against Maxwell and settled it for an undisclosed sum in 2017, is central to the case. And remember, guys, Ghislaine Maxwell was fighting her ass off to have these documents sealed forever, never to go. And they just came out today. So sorry. providing evidence to substantiate her exploitation at the hands of Epstein and Maxwell through photographs, plane logs, and even a medical record from Presbyterian Hospital in New York, where she was taken by Epstein after a particular abusive episode. Some of the testimony is difficult to read, as when one 15-year-old Swedish girl shaking and crying in despair tells a butler who worked for one of Epstein's closest friends that she had been taken to Epstein's island in the Caribbean and forced to have sex with him and others. The butler relates the story under oath. The girl, visibly traumatized, told the houseman who worked for Eva Dubin, a former Miss Sweden and founder of the Dubin breast cancer at Mount Sinai, and her husband, prominent hedge fund manager Glen Dubin, that Epstein and Maxwell had physically threatened to harm her and seized her passport to keep her on the island, according to the butler's statement. She was so distraught she couldn't recall how she got back to the U.S. mainland, but the butler testified that Maxwell brought her to the Dubin residence. These are elites, guys. These are people that have money. And they're doing these terrible things to these girls, absolutely terrible things, forcing them to have sex with them and do these shitty, disgusting things. And again, Virginia Roberts poses for a photo with Prince Andrew as Ghislaine Maxwell, smiles in the background. Roberts reports that she was lent out to Prince Andrew when she was as a teenage sex slave for Palm Beach millionaire Jeffrey Epstein, which we just went over. The cache of court documents, part of the case's motion for summary judgment, also shows that as early as 2006, when the Palm Beach police were first investigating Epstein, he was being assisted by Maxwell as part of a pyramid-like scheme the pair operated to lure young girls from around Palm Beach, focusing on schools, colleges, and spas. Palm Beach detective Joe Riccieri testified in the case that he was never able to question Maxwell, but the fact that the police had evidence of Maxwell's involvement raises new questions about why the FBI and U.S. Attorney's Office in South Florida failed to pursue sex trafficking charges against Epstein, Maxwell, and others. Yeah, that's a really good question, and that is why that sheriff's department is also being investigated now, and that Ghislaine Maxwell is fucked. She's done. And here we go. Clinton had denied that he ever was on the island. Maxwell lawyers were on sabbatical and unavailable for comment. The assistants in their office said the Miami was unsuccessful in reaching Eva and Glen Dubin for comment. And of course, the story is developing. So guys, there it is. This is just the beginning of, unfortunately, some really sick stuff coming out. And I'm glad I'm here to give you guys just a real quick snapshot of what's going on. Please, I'm going to link all the documents in the show notes. So if you guys are interested, take a look at those. It goes into way more detail. It's not that hard to follow, and you can actually get through it real quick. It's almost like a book, but it's real life. So there you have it. If you guys have any questions, anything that you want to throw out there, any other information that I missed, please comment down below. I am definitely willing to read it and reply back to all you guys with absolutely no problem. So that's going to be it for today, guys. You might see me on the weekend, depending on what breaks. My personal prediction, I'm just throwing this out there, this is no factual information. I believe Q is going to be back next week. I just have a hunch. The 15th, Dan Coates is supposed to be resigning for the Intelligence National Director, I believe. And Trump he already picked somebody, I don't remember the name, but they are going to be coming in. I just think the timing of when Coates steps down is when 8chan is going to be back up on their new platform. The people are working on that. I follow them on Twitter. I think his name is Zero Monkey. He's the one giving us updates out there about how they are rebuilding 8chan on the new platform so Q can post again. So a lot of people were upset. They were depressed that Q hasn't been around, obviously because they can't, because they were deplatformed, but nothing's going to stop what's coming, guys. And the media's attempt with these shootings last weekend, because if you guys noticed, once these shootings took over, Epstein kind of just fell to the bottom of the barrel, right? Where did all this coverage, where'd all the coverage go? The media companies were forced to cover him. And once these shootings started sprouting up, which they always do, I told you they were going to happen, that is the media's way to shift the consciousness of the masses to take focus off of it. But it didn't work. Because what happened right before this weekend started? This document dump. Just remember, guys, Patriots are in control. The plan is happening, and we're going to be seeing justice. And that is what we're going to be looking for. So subscribe, guys. Subscribe, like, and share. That's all I can ask for you. Just hit that like button. It takes 2 seconds, not even. It's just a click of a button. give me that like and share with your friends and family and support independent media. I'm at 177 right now. The goal is 200 by the end of this month. I think we're going to crush it. So please, please, please just hit that subscribe button as well. And you'll be seeing me, guys. And until then, stay woke.